Good morning, America, and we welcome you to the International Fabtalks. My dear friends, join us on this beautiful day to welcome our celebrity and guest who's joining us all the way from California, USA. She's here to share her views with regard to writing and, of course, empowering all of us. Join me, friends, to welcome our celebrity and guest. She's Mrs. Leela Ramesh. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for inviting me on this platform, which I rever a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us. And we are going to share ma'am's profile now as to who she is and what is so special about her. Many of you might have seen her earlier on the International Fab Talks, share her journey. But today, it's something more special that she's going to share. Let's get to know what is it. But of course, before that, let me share her profile with all of you. Ma'am, with your permission, I go ahead and share your profile.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dear friends, join me now to invite our guest and get to know more about her profile. Friends, she is none other than Mrs. Leela Ramesh, and she is a senior faculty connected with the art of living. And she's completed her MA in English literature. She's completed her MEd, and she calls herself as an eternal student in the school of life. That's really beautiful. What does that mean? A continuous learner till the last breath. She says she learns from everything and every day. It could be a little child, it could be an adult, it could be a tree, it could be even a leaf, a flower, a little insect, an animal, etc. She says there is a valuable message in existence, and if we are keen observers, we could understand the value of everything around us. She is a teacher and she teaches higher meditation programs which is connected to the art of living and as well as involved in service projects, including one for children that helps in imbibing or in inculcating human values for little children. And above all, writing is her passion, where she really focuses all her positive energy to bring about beautiful books in the form of books. It could be poems, it could be, or it could be articles for newspapers, magazines, and blogs. She does all of that. And she is the recipient of the Best Bloggers Award from the holy hands of Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji, the founder of the Art of Living organization, for her write-up on the occasion of International Bloggers Conference. Leela ma'am has published 2 books on Amazon. That is, the first one is Ageless Tales with a New Perspective, a bedtime storybook for children with a lot of value-added education into that. And she is also focusing on an unusual way of narration in this beautiful book. And the concluding part of the book celebrates the lessons learned through the stories in a very unique and special way. The second book is a collection of poems composed by her called Melody. Both are available on Amazon today. We will be discussing on the importance of writing, importance of storytelling, and importance of telling stories at bedtime when children are yet to sleep. When you share beautiful stories with them or read out stories to them or make them read the stories out for you loud, that's a beautiful way to connect and bond with little children. It could be your grandchildren, it could be school children, it could be any child, and that's how you bring out the beauty and the best part of reading and improving your vocabulary and getting to know beautiful terms and topics. And so now, Madam's book called as Ageless Tales has a new perspective and a new way, which is going to really bring back beautiful balance to understand how life could go further and how children can learn a lot, what values they can learn. And both these books, Melody and Ageless Tales, are available on Amazon. If you'd like to get them, you could lay your hands on them, friends. Now, how did she begin writing? Why did she begin writing? And all about that is magical and a secret. We're going to decode that now. Join us, friends. Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
Yes.
Crystal.
That's really nice, ma'am, to get to know about your profile. But the question lies here. How and when did you start this beautiful journey of becoming a writer? Yes, dear.
I did not have the goal of becoming a writer because early on in life, I just realized that I have a flair for writing. Flair for writing in the sense whenever I felt very intense emotions about something, it could be the sad ones or the happy ones, it would come out in the form of a writing or a poem. And early on, I found it out that I have a flair for it, and then it continued, but I never had an idea that one day I will be an author and I will publish books. It continued, and slowly I got some opportunities to contribute to newspapers, magazines, in-house magazines, blogs, and all that. That is how I began to identify myself. Yeah, I'm a writer. No, yes.
That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, many of them would want to know, why did you begin this journey? What was the sole intention behind putting your thoughts into pen and paper?
As I said, there was no intention. It is just, whenever you feel intensely about something, you feel a need to express. And fortunately, I had this gift of expressing myself on paper. That pen and paper has been my eternal friend. A way of therapy. It's very therapeutic to express something on paper and reach it to others also. It's like caring and sharing. So that gives me a lot of relief, probably. It is my own, for my own self comfort, that I started writing without any goal or intention of achieving something. No, I did not have. I still don't have.
Yes, dear. Then you mentioned this like it's very therapeutic, and that is really nice. When you put your thoughts on pen and paper, like that's really wonderful. It's like relieving yourself of whatever you have within, or taking out the best that you have within and putting it on paper such that others could relish on it. They could really read it and really
Yeah.
imbibe all
Even
those good
empathize.
qualities.
Yeah. Relate to it,
Yes,
empathize. A lot of things
yes,
can happen. You never know where you are making a difference.
very true.
Some of your words can make a difference somewhere to somebody. Because I have got feedback like this. I just needed this. What you wrote today, I just needed this today. And that is how I feel everything is guided by the divine. And you don't know why you are doing what you are doing. You just have to follow your heart and instinct, and then everything happens.
Yes,
Recently, I wrote a blog on forgiveness, the importance of forgiveness. And then I wrote about how forgiveness can give us freedom by forgiving someone for what they have done intentionally or unintentionally. By forgiving them, we are redeeming ourselves. We become free so that our path ahead is free. Then I got an immediate response from a person. Today is the day I was raped by a man, and it was haunting me. Today I was very miserable. I just needed your article to remind me that I have to forgive and move on. No, I had made a difference there. My words had made a difference there. So you feel so fulfilled that you are contributing to the well being of someone out there.
yes, dear.
Yeah,
That's
but I
wonderful.
don't write with the intention of doing that. It just happens. It's all in the divine order.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, why did you focus only on writing stories for children? And like, why do you think stories are very important for little children?
I did not focus on writing a book for ageless days. It just happened. I have many books swimming in my head right now. But during a pandemic, when pandemic struck, you know, I we have a friend, long time family friend, Bob Sheshadri and Prema Sheshadri, his wife, and he just announced on Facebook that he had just self-published a book on Amazon. So I contacted them. So my friend Prema said, my husband Bob will be very happy to help you how to self-publish on Amazon. I have never published a book. So I'm really thankful for his time. He spent innumerable sessions on Zoom tutoring me how to self-publish on Amazon. And then there is another volunteer of the Art of Living. He came forward. I will help you with the technical aspect of it, how to upload on Amazon. No, I just had to write my content and email him, and he would do everything else, the technical part. And then the challenge came of getting illustrations. Without illustrations, a children's book is incomplete. So I sent out a message to my network on Art of Living on WhatsApp. Whoever is interested, I need a volunteer to do illustrations for this book. A beautiful girl came forward, Dharini Chandrasekhar, a very young girl. She is a self-taught illustrator who was studying for, to go to America for her higher studies. And she accepted I will be the illustrator. She made beautiful illustrations. That's how everything came together. A lot of well wishers, of course, my grandchildren, everybody contributed. And the ageless tales, the stories that I have written, they were already published long, long time ago in an in-house magazine as a column. I wrote it as a column for 10 or 12 months, every month a story, and it got a good response from all the children and parents. So I thought, why, if someone is there to help me how to publish, then I better use whatever is already available and then give it out in the form of a book. So later on, I can think of other books that I'm having in my mind to publish. And the age list, I took out the file and then I modified a lot. It has undergone a lot of metamorphosis without changing the core, you know. But then I gave it a new perspective, and then I gave some projects for children. All this happened. Many things happened on its own. And that is how my book, Ageless Tales, came into be during the pandemic. Yeah, I'm thankful to all those people who helped me to do it. And a lot of my well wishers wrote a good review. And then it prompted me to, I have been composing poems since a long, long time. It prompted me to publish a book of my poems also. And then nothing has happened. I have been writing for blogs and all this. Then books are yet to get published. Yeah.
Yes, dear. That's wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, maybe know like children of what age could read these books? Like for which age group is it meant?
This book is meant for children between, let us say, 5 to 10, 12 years. Now, those are the impressionable years where children imbibe whatever is sowed. Now, whatever you sow, it will germinate and it will grow as a giant tree later on. So I would recommend all the children of 5 years, they cannot read, their parents and grandparents have to read. 5 to 10, 12 years of age can enjoy these stories. And adults also can enjoy. Adults who have not grown up, who retain their child within themselves, who refuse to grow up, like I refuse to grow up, whatever may be my physiological age, they
Yeah.
will also enjoy reading a children's book.
Yes, ma'am. That's wonderful, dear. Like many of the parents and children who might be viewing this before buying the book or before reading the book, they'd like to know what are the contents of the book. What could they expect from this book? What type of stories are these all about?
Yeah. Children will gain values and wisdom for life. You know? To put it in a nutshell, they get a lot of human values and wisdom. And these stories are not my creation. They are often told stories. We have all heard them in our childhood. No, but for the new generation, for children of 5 years or 10 years, they are new to these stories. It may be the first time they are listening to these stories. That is why it's called ageless tales. Although they are often told stories, it is new for the young generation that's coming up. And all of us remember when we were young, we were told the stories of um, grapes are sour, or the boy who cried wolf, or the lion and the mouse. It has never gone away from our memory because of the person who told it to us, like our grandmother, our mother, it could be our teacher. So that is how, when you tell a story to children at bedtime, especially at bedtime, and give them the value that is retained in that is contained in the story, they will sleep with that thought, and that is how it gets imprinted in their mind. That's a very impressionable age. That is the best time to give them what is required for them to grow up as virtuous individuals. Yeah.
Yes, dear. That's really very nice, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. Now, there's a question in my mind. Are you planning to write more books for children?
Definitely, I would like to write more books for children. Actually, I want to write a book on the stories in Bhagavata. Like Dhruva, Prahalad, they are all young children, but they have a very huge message. for children. So I have that in my mind. It still has to concretize. Let's see when the time comes. Like that, there are many other stories from Aesop's fables or Panchatantra. That we have so many stories. I want to read them again and give a new perspective. That is what is different in my book. No, they are all often told stories. Like all of us know about the story of three pots. There is a villager who goes to a well and he drops his old iron pot, and a fairy comes up. He takes out a golden pot. Is this yours? He says, no, that's not mine. He takes out a silver pot. Is this yours? He says, no. He takes out his old iron pot, and then he jumps with joy. Yes, this is mine. The fairy is so happy with his honesty and truthfulness. So the fairy gives him all three pots, you know, the golden, the silver, as well as his own pot. So looking at that, his neighbor gets very greedy. He also goes to the well and he accidentally, instead of accidentally dropping it, he purposely drops it into the well so that the fairy can come and give him a golden pot, silver pot. Fairy does come and he brings out a golden pot and he says, is this yours? The neighbor, greedy, he becomes so greedy, says, yes, this is mine. The fairy gets so angry, he does not give him any pot, not the golden one, not the silver, not his own pot. He comes back empty handed. Actually, the original story ends like this. But I have given a new perspective to this story. you know. And also, at the end of every story, there is a project for children. There is, for critical thinking. And also the illustrations themselves are so good. And there is a prologue, there is an epilogue, there is an introduction. All of them have a lot of wisdom and values for children.
That's
So
wonderful.
all the stories are already heard by older generations, but there is a new perspective. See, we tend to, wherever we have read a story, there is a tendency to make somebody good, somebody bad. I believe everybody is innately good. It is the circumstances or it is some kind of upbringing, it could be, or any kind of block that is stopping them from showing their real true identity of their goodness. Now, to bring out that goodness in everything, to see the goodness in everything, is what we need to teach our children. I believe so. To see the good in everything. And it's possible to change the outlook or the tendency of people by having good company, you know, through parents, through teachers. It's very important. Teachers, children, as well as parents, they work together to shape a child.
Yes, dear. When you mentioned teachers, ma'am, I have a question. Like the management, the school management, the teachers, we all should encourage reading a lot of books. And I really wish the teachers and the management come forward and purchase these beautiful books for their children and allow the children to read it during their free time. That would really be beneficial for the children. Like they get to read simple stories which have beautiful messages for all. So I really hope and wish that they come forward and go ahead and read what they say, instead of being on social media, like to hold a book in hand, spend some time reading, so you have that visual connection, you have your motor skills also, holding the book in your hand and you read aloud. Maybe your auditory skills also develop, your vocal cords also work very well. What are your thoughts, ma'am, regarding the schools and
I
management
agree.
coming
I
forward?
agree. Yes, I agree. I cannot agree more. Uh, when I published this book, one of my very old students, who is also one of my very good friends today, Shanaz Kapasi. She is the director of uh, New York District Schools. No, so the moment it was published, she purchased a book and she went. She goes to many schools in New York District. She says, I carry this book everywhere to every school and read a story in every class, primary class. Because primary education is very, very important. That is the time we lay a foundation for children. Unfortunately, we are focusing only on subjects and marks and then promotion. This has to change. In our Gurukula days, education, the subject knowledge was important, was imparted on the foundation of human values. Without the foundation of human values, any subject knowledge is of, maybe it's of use just to earn a living, to show your certificates and the degrees that you have to people. You may earn a very good salary, but if you don't have the foundation of human values, you will not be liked by people. You will not be a pleasant personality. That emotional health, mental health, maturity, wisdom, values all comes from telling stories. That is the importance of telling stories. And then there is another girl who is also my student. She is in Germany. She is a primary school teacher. No, she also bought this book and she says, I have been reading these stories to my children in the class. And like that, there are many of them. When you read the book, you will see there are a lot of reviews that people have given, like how it has changed the bedtime for their children. They sleep without tantrums.